to below Mississippi, all surrounding areas, and to the nations of the world. That was our guy, Dietrich Hatton. You are Lord. Oh my goodness. Come on, he said he's not going to stop until he get 1 billion people saying, Jesus. Now that's a goal. Come on, I support that goal. Listen, guys, you've been listening to the Uniquely Living Radio Show right here on WKIU 95.1. We are the Kingdom Broadcasting Network, and this is where we create unity, we build relationships, and we definitely empower people. Want to give a shout out to all of our KBN listeners online. You guys rock. You can always tune in and listen to us live, okay? You can listen live every day, especially every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Isn't that good? KBNradio.com. That's KBNradio.com. I'm going to go ahead and read our disclaimer for you. The views and the opinions expressed during this broadcast are the views and the opinions of the host and not the views and the opinions of the First United Christian Church or the Kingdom Broadcasting Network. All right, listen, let's jump on in, guys. It's February. We discussed this last week, man. It is my birthday month. And I am going to be celebrating all month and also all year. We just celebrate life. Isn't that good? Yeah, just celebrate life. The good life. The life that God really came to give us. Our topic this week, guys. Have you ever been thrown under the bus? Well, listen, we're going to talk about it. And so you guys are more than welcome to call, all right? 662-620-1940. Listen, sooner or later. All right. Sooner or later, if you're in a leadership position, you will get thrown under the bus by receiving unfair criticism from your boss or a colleague. Now, unfair criticism, it comes in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes it shows up in your annual performance. You know, when your boss rates you as failing to meet expectations in the area of performance where you had no idea that you were really falling short, okay? And so in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, hey, why did you never pull me to the side and like tell me or give me a one-on-one so that I can do better? You know, bring it to my attention that, hey, you know, we need to work in this area rather than waiting all year long and then you throw this in my face. And I'm looking at you like I thought everything was good. And you're looking at me like, no, it's not. And so, you know, now I got all of these skid marks on my body because the bus has ran me over and I am flat. All right. Other times it shows up when a colleague criticizes you in an effort to deflate attention from his or her own shortcomings. Okay, so regardless of the cause or the circumstances, all right, unfair criticism, it hurts. Okay, so it will erode the trust between people. It can cause rifts in relationships. Hey, and it hinders the effective teamwork. You're looking at yourself like, that's not my teammate. We're not a team. So listen, you cannot control when you get thrown under the bus, but you can choose how you respond when you are thrown under the bus. All right. And we all get this term. We all know this term, thrown under the bus. Right. And so we just explained it. The unfair criticism, you know, those darts. We had talked about that a little while ago, those fiery darts. OK. And so, listen, you got to talk about these things within the workplace as well. All right. So within the workplace, within the marketplace, even between siblings, even between covenant family members and stuff like that. OK. So here are some tips on how to respond to unfair criticism. All right. It's going to be about 8 to 10 of them, okay? And I'm going to give you 3 today, and I'm hooking you, all right? So that means you got to come on back in on Wednesday and then on Friday so we can finish this up. We're going to be talking about this all week because I believe that when you begin to make choices, right, you begin to make better choices for your life and you begin to, you know, to start operating, you know, and really trying to apply the word to your life. You know, like last week and last month, you know, we were talking about you change your mind, you change your life. Okay. And so listen, when you start doing that, it's like stuff pop up out the woodworks. You be like, oh my God, I thought thought you were on my team this whole time. I thought you were my friend. Come to find out, you are Judas. And so listen, these things start popping up, right? And you're looking at yourself like, oh my God, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to, release my emotions. I'm trying to be disciplined. I'm trying to love everybody. And the moment that you begin to say, I love everybody, and that I will never be offended another day in my life, everybody tries to offend you that day. And then it's ongoing. And so these are the things that we got to talk about. When you begin to change your mind, when you begin to make new decisions, listen, when you make the commitment to live for God, things will try to make you recant that commitment. And it's not always about the enemy. It's not always about the devil, making me do stuff. No, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's our inability to resolve issues. Sometimes it's our inability to be able to think of ourselves in another light. That the word of God is a mirror for us, right? So it mirrors what we should be, but we see what we see. And so sometimes it's just the ability to be able to solve problems, to move past, to loose old traditions and perspectives and stuff like that. All right, so here we go. All right, so you're thrown under the bus. Boom. Number one, first tip of the week when you are thrown under the bus. Listen, now, because we're talking about this, all right? Some of you guys listening out there, you're going to get thrown under the bus. That's why we're talking about it. All right? And so when it happens, you can say, oh, boom, I know what that is. And then you can respond properly. Listen, remember, all right, number one, remember that your response will shape your reputation. All right, what do we mean? Above all else, remember this point, that you choose to respond to criticism. All right, you choose to respond, or you choose how you will respond. Now, notice we didn't say react, because reaction is immaturity. Reaction is immature. Response is adult, is mature. All right, it's your emotions discipline. Isn't that good? And so whenever anything happens to you, you choose how you respond. Always take the high road. Respond with integrity. Respond with professionalism. Respond with the anointing. Okay, do not let someone else's unprofessional behavior, okay, direct you, push you, throw you, or guide you, lure you into responding in a way in which it will ruin your influence. Is that good? Okay, so trusted leaders, at the end of the day, guys, they know that all they have is their integrity. All right, so it's about your character. So that's the reason why we keep, talking about the personal development plan. That's the reason why we talked about change your mind, you change your life, right? And so what we got to do is, when we're thrown under the bus, okay, let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get to the root cause of it. What's going on, right? And so what is it? 85% of your success is attributed to your attitude. Okay. Number two, don't react defensively. Okay. So don't react defensively. So when you're thrown under the bus, immediately the defenses go. You're no longer on offense. You're on defense now. You're like, hey, let me tell you something. No, hey, wait a minute. No. Defensiveness, that only escalates the situation. Okay. And then it will seem like the unfair or the unjustified criticism that it was deserved. So when you get passionately fired up over friendly fire, that causes for you to operate in your emotions. So you want to limit that, all right? You want to be able to respond rationally, and you want to be able to respond thoughtfully, okay? So, take your time, breathe. Don't allow yourself to respond the way you would in the past, right? Because we've changed our mind. We've really applied the word. Okay, we've really made the commitment that we want to do better, we want to be better, and we want to seek to understand first rather than to be understood. Okay, and again, this is unfair criticism. When you're thrown under the bus, this is due to something that's going on with the person that is doing the throwing. Okay, and so that's what you got to remember. And always remember, man, listen, we have the we have the opportunity, okay, not so much as the mandate, it's a mandate as well, but we have the opportunity to show forth the love of Christ, to show forth the character and the integrity of Christ in every situation. All right, so always remember that we are kingdom representatives of representation of Christ in the earth realm. All right, so it's our job to pull heaven on earth. And a lot of times these things happen, and then you really find out what's on the inside of you. You really find out, do you really have faith? Do I really have joy? Do I really have peace? Am I really able to turn the other cheek, right? Am I really able to pray for those that despitefully misuse me? I mean, this is where you find it out. If it never happens, you'll never know. Isn't it the quote, Martin Luther King says that in the face of adversity, that's where your character is shown. Like, you find out who you really are, in the face of adversity, in the troubled waters. You find out what's going to come out of you, what's on the inside. All right. So the first one, I'll give them to you again. Remember that your response will shape your reputation. Okay. And so always remember that your influence. Okay. You don't want to damage your influence. And you've worked hard to get where you are. You've worked hard to, to be the that kingdom representation. All right. And so you don't want to ruin that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to react defensively. And then number 3, okay, you want to listen to understand, not to rebut or to defend. Okay, so listen to understand. All right. Our most common instinct when we experience unfair criticism is to zero in on the other person's comments and then to formulate our response so that we can defend ourselves. Well, she didn't bring me the paperwork on time, so that's why I couldn't send the email. And you'd be like, I did bring you the paperwork. You were on the phone and you were doing emails and I was trying to get your attention and you had your door locked for 45 minutes. No. Wait. Instead of doing that, resist the urge to focus on the micro elements of what's being communicated. All right. So resist the urge to focus in on those specific accusations. Okay. So that we can understand the broad picture. Where is this coming from? What's going on? What is the problem so that we can solve it? All right. And you can do this all in your mind. You're asking yourself, hey, what's going on? Where did this come from? What's the problem? What's the real root of the problem here? Why are you, throwing this off on me? And so get to the bottom of it. All right. And then just make sure that you, again, listen, respond, not react. Respond, don't react. Okay. So even if the specific accusations of the criticism are off base, there may be some things that you can learn and some things that you can benefit. All right. And so take all of that into consideration. God is only trying to make us better. In everything that we go through and everything that we experience, God is trying to make us better. Some of these things are going to make you think. Some of these things are going to be some things that you're going to say, hey, I probably don't need to do that. I need to do this. And so it's all working together for your good. So it's all good. It's all great. But don't be upset. Don't be, don't be confused. God got you, right? He never takes you to a place that he can't take care of you or, work it out for you. He's always got something going on for you. So you good. All right. So when you're thrown under the bus, count it all joy. right? When you diverse temptations, you count it all joy. Why? Because you know that God is just working some things out in you, and he's building you, and he's recreating you. So it's all good. So when you get thrown under the bus, remember, I want to seek first to understand rather than to be understood, and I want to respond properly. Isn't that good? Well, listen, you guys got to come on back in, all right? Come on back in on Wednesday. We're going to finish up these tips, all right? When you're thrown under the bus, how do we handle that? What do we do? How do we move past it? And we're going to talk about it, because even after you're thrown under the bus, listen, you don't quit your job. You don't quit your sister or your brother, right? You still have to be relational. You still have to be in a relationship with them. Isn't that good? So how do we move past this now? Because listen, you got a dagger. You got a dart. How do I get the fiery dart out of me, right? And then still continue to have good, wholesome and healthy emotions and a healthy relationship with my brother, with my sister, regardless of the fact whether you're in the church, not in the church, whether you're in the marketplace or you're not in the marketplace, or it's your real brother, your sister, or it's your covenant brother or sister. Listen, they're all your brothers and sisters. We are all God's children. And the sooner that we look at each other that way, the sooner we'll be able to mend our relationships and really be restorers of the paths to dwell in. That's what we're called to do. Isn't that good? You've been listening to the Uniquely Living Radio Show right here on WKIU 95.1, the Kingdom Broadcasting Network. And this is where we create unity, we build relationships, and we empower people. Now, that's a kingdom mission statement right there. I want you guys to make sure you stay connected and come on back in on Wednesday, because we're going to finish this stuff up, and it is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Up next, guys, we're going to hear from William Murphy. And you know what it is. It's all working together for my good. Stay connected. It's KBN.